Nye Comics. Um, Big celebration today. I finally finished penciling all my work right now. So now I'm at the inking stage, and yeah, now we can finally, hopefully, now we could have like a little bit of something different going on instead, and I can continue this book on and just like show off all the awesome work I've been working on. I mean, it's a little different. So like this time it's actually all the stuff that I actually inked before, and I'm going to try to continue, and I'm going to just like continue on and make this thing into like a bigger thing. So like I'll make a whole bunch of I'll probably make a whole bunch of little changes here and there, but this thing will actually be done in ink instead of like pencil, which is, my hopefully will be taking less time, not as not as crazy because I already did all the hard work on like illustrating and everything, and now I can actually just like get this thing all worked on and just like show off all my work. Let's get some music on here, and the next hopefully you guys will like come in and chat. And I want to thank a lot of people who's been like putting up their time with me and actually, always like chatting and all that stuff. I actually earlier today on one of my feeds that I actually got like I actually got a donation for like all the work that I've been doing, and I haven't actually personally thanked him for that. Um,
You're just testing it.
I want to actually thank this one person specifically.
You're just testing it.
I want to actually thank this one person specifically. Hold on a second, let me just turn that off. I want to actually thank this person specifically. I believe it was Sudoku 1993 who actually like who actually like donated a little bit to me earlier in the stream, and I just want to say thank you for all her for the donation that she gave me, and I really appreciate that. Um, okay, so that's not where it is. Hold on a second. If I could actually find it. Ah, shoot. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm actually working now. Okay, I'm actually working now. Okay. Let's see how much I got. I can't find it. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find it on PayPal. Whatever. Oh wait, it's let's see. Hold on a second. Just give me a second. I'm just gonna try to find a. I don't know exactly which one it was, but her name is it's Sarah Hime, who actually gave me the donation. Like, who gave me the donation earlier for the comic book, and I just wanted to personally thank her for for actually donating to me. So now that I'm actually going to be doing the inking process, hopefully this part will be much more engaging, much more much more active than before. And so usually, I was actually very fortunate to have like a little bit of time off away from the family, and just because they're all the way up in Stockton right now, and so I just been able to just sit down and focus on just drawing and getting all my characters all built up. Usually, I never get this opportunity, and it finally paid off that I actually finally am able to ink my work and get it all laid out. So this method I'm actually doing is I'm basically just using the blue line to get this all together. And just getting the illustration of the drawing right out there so that you can get it all set up. Okay, now to get the oval. Usually you don't. Usually I try to get the basics down. Of course, these characters are much smaller. Like if you see my finger, the size of these characters are going to be really very little detailed, but I'll put in more details on them later. Usually I don't usually go into hardcore details when it's done to my illustrations. Maybe someday when I get the work done, I could actually show in a little bit more progress in the near future. So if anyone's willing to do a donation and all that other stuff, feel free to do so, and I'll actually try to I'll actually throw it into my stream and just give you a few copies of my comic books from the previous issues while I work on this one. I've been trying to get in the habit of actually getting up earlier, but I'm just having a hard time with it, and just all that difficult pain in the ass stuff. So, I also had to deal with another little situation with when it comes to printing. For some reason, a lot of my angles always seem to be getting really crooked in one way or another. And so it is at this point, I just had to learn just not worry so much about it, because once I put it into printing, or send it to my colorist, the angle won't be the same like it was before. And so when I've been working on that, there you go. Now I get the little beam right on her fingers, and probably mentioned this before. In the I'm just going to actually make two different styles when it comes to making laser beams and everything like that. As we can see here, so our one was designed on her beams much more smoother and much more cleaner than the other stuff. But let's get it a little bit. Ooh, I almost forgot. That's one more thing I always have to add when I'm doing these. Excuse me.
Hi.
Oh, hi, human robot. Okay. It's a pleasure to meet you. I don't know if you're actually a human or whatever. Sort of a bizarre little thing to express. Hold on a second.
I am a human.
Are you sure? You sound like a robot to me.
Yes.
So how are you doing today?
Doing alright. I decided to take up writing.
Oh, cool. What kind of stuff are you writing anyway? I mean, not to be.
I'm writing about a bunch of lower tier superheroes that do groundwork and logistics support.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Kind of sounds like what is it called? There was another like a group that was called like a ground patrol or like or something like that.
Damage control?
Yeah, damage control. Yeah, it kind of sounds like that, or just like lower tier superheroes who do groundwork and logistics support. Okay. Yeah, that's what I kind of got at first.
What's your comic about, if you don't mind me asking?
Mine's about a superhero with autism. And so, like, I try to do like an idea where the superhero becomes a. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
No, thank you. So I just like so what I try to do is like I'm just trying to like develop the inking process and getting all that work done. And this is actually believe it or not, this is actually not the first issue. This is the 5th issue of the series. So if you're ever interested in just like interested in reading in the books, just feel free to donate me here, or just go on to like or just go onto my
Yeah,
website.
inking looks really neat. Good job.
Thank you. And if you feel like donating a little bit here, or just going onto my website, which is calvinnyecomics.com, feel free to just like check out my work, and you can buy my books digitally. And I might be changing up a little details on my physical copies because, fortunately, they're a little bit expensive to do individual. I have been trying to like figure out different ways to like proceed my illustrations in a different light. so it's kind of like and so I still am a little bit like I'm still a little bit sloppy when it comes to like illustration and doing inking and all that stuff. Like I'm still working on like trying to get my hand a little bit more controlled, a little bit more smoother, without it shaking so much. So I usually don't go all. I usually don't go all in when I'm inking. Like basically, I'll do this much on brush, and the rest I'll actually do on paper, or the rest I'll do on pencils. I have been thinking of getting some of those like micron or like rapidograph markers, and just try to get the illustrations out a little bit better when I'm illustrating. So at this part right here, like I usually just like draw the outline like very thick. And so I could just get a good thick outline right there. And then when I get my markers in, I kind of go in and just like put it into like a very, very much stable setup when I get it done.
I tried to do it in digital, but it got too slow cause I wasn't disciplined when drawing.
Eh, everyone has their own versions of like being disciplined and everything.
I get carried away with detail and draw the backgrounds.
Oh yeah, I mean sometimes like it depends on like where you go with your work. It's just basically knowing when to keep going and when to stop on a few things. It's still a challenge for me because like I still have like think I could do like so much at so little time. But then I realize it makes me go longer and longer as I go along. So like there's a few times where the backgrounds like this is not a very background orientated. Like if you see like here in my first page, let me see if I could get that zoomed out a little bit. Like a lot of my first challenges was just basically making the background layout, but then I kind of cut out like a few of them. I think I might go vignette on this bottom part and like take out the frame here. I don't know yet, but I think that might be good enough to think about later. But then some layers I'll be actually adding more backgrounds into the story depending on how important that scene is. Because it'll tell our readers how much is in the story and when I'm doing it. Feel free to ask me any questions because I'm usually not like the hardcore like actually conversationalist in these illustrations. So feel free to ask me any questions about stuff. What have I been doing, or all that other stuff.
No worries.
Other than that, I just been watching like a few TV shows like Atypical. I just finished up like Glitch Tech and Hilda, which are two of my very interesting cartoons that I've been watching. And I think I wanted to do like a new poster art where we actually see Hilda and Dipper like hold hands by accident by like picking up stuff, and it's just a weird little crossover for like the Gravity Fall adventure searching people type
Do you
stuff.
watch series like The Boys or Invincible?
Oh yes, I had seen both of them. I liked the. I really like. I really like the how they portrayed Invincible in the animated format. And so like it was actually really cool to see them really pull off the stuff. I already read all the books and everything, so you could call me an uber nerd on that part, but really just like I was pretty satisfied with all the stuff I've been checking out. So I can't complain about it. Good series. I would recommend it very much.
I wanted to make the story I'm writing be as down to earth as possible.
Yeah, that's cool. I always been looking to hire like some more writers to do some comic books for me. Just kind of like give me a little break from like actually writing, illustrating, and then doing all the work myself, and just kind of cut down my stress level and load.
Referencing actual urban asymmetrical warfare of recent history.
Oh, that's very cool. Asymmetrical warfare, like what kind of warfare? Like what's the asymmetrical warfare, if you don't mind me asking?
Currently, the Syrian war is a good example of that.
Uh-huh. So like what exact? Oh, so it's like a war drama or something?
It's more of a technical detail of how these units function operationally.
So how would you set that in a story?
More so than the drama of each character.
Oh, so it's like a camaraderie story, right? Like best friends in the war or something like that, or how even the worst enemies become like close allies in the later on. I mean, I'm sort of guessing on that story.
So if a character can fly, they have to obey the laws of physics, can't make sharp G-force turns, just catch anyone in midair arbitrarily.
Okay, so just like they're actually adding the real science to being a superhero is what I'm vibing on. Is that what you're kind of going for?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that sounds pretty cool. Mine is just talking about like more social acceptance and talking about like whether if a kid with autism and got superpowers, can he become a superhero? And that's what I've been kind of like pushing forward to get the idea that in my universe that it's actually illegal for disabled people to be a superhero. And so I try to bring in diversity in that type of way. And so when I try to do the store, make my comic books and everything, I just want to like try to get a lot of ideas saying like, yes, this is possible, but there's also the struggle of like trying to make sure you're doing the right thing, and also have to make those tough judgment calls and all those other stuff that goes on with like sort of like the argue of like talking about daily life and everything.
That's an interesting concept. The US Army once had a conundrum where they couldn't induct anyone in the Army who had a NIC lower than 75, as it would be immensely dangerous, cause they had to operate firearms or other weapons systems.
No, I get that, but in the argument of like the opposite direction, like there's actually been like people who are people who just have like a few social awkward situations are would constantly be like be rated as like a one type group when spectrum can be debated on whether high functioning disabled people and low functioning could be a different thing. And also talk about the staples of like the daily life of a family with autism and a fam or like a or someone or basically parents with autism and all that other stuff, what they had to deal with and everything else.
Yeah, the spectrum would definitely change the dynamics of the situation.
And so it's just like so yeah, it's just one of those challenges of whether if like whether like the same idea was the
So it's more nuance.
yeah. It is more like more the question of like if someone's on the spectrum, can he do the same thing as a normal human being? And it only depends on like, and to me the answer is depending on how much the person can represent and how much of an influence he can in the world. I mean, it kind of goes into a lot of like my own self life. I'm also diagnosed with autism as well, and I always wanted to like become a comic book artist. And so I noticed that there was never like a character that was on the spectrum that gave like a good light. I mean, they started actually like putting him in there, but it's not like they never put it in like a superhero setup. Like the only one that could probably be a good reference was maybe Defendor, or like someone other, or like some other person. The closest, but a lot of like people who show like a spectrum layout is like it's kind of lackluster in some cases. So a lot of people always like think like, oh, am I like this, or are you like whatever his name from The Good Doctor? And it's like sort of, but not in that realm. I mean, because some parts of it is like, you know, a little bit too realistic. And so when I yeah, I decided to like build a character myself, and hopefully he makes me the bills later on. Can't say I'm much of a pro, but it does kind of like show off what I can do and everything like that.
Yeah, I wish you all the best on this project.
Thank you. And like I said, if you like what you see, feel free to follow me and you check out the next stream whenever I pop them up. I actually took a little break from like streaming because part of it was I was actually house sitting my boss's place, and so I couldn't bring my stream setup. And so when I was doing that, I was just kind of like working on my stuff and getting that all set up. Hold on a second. I wonder if I can. Let me change up one thing for a second. I just can't remember the name. Wing Gundam. For some reason, because I can't seem to change the. I wonder if I can change. I wonder how come I can't change my avatar to something else. Darn, I can't change it for some reason. Give me 1 second. Okay. Okay, let's see. There we go. Now my favorite Gundam.
Be right back.
Okay. I'm actually probably going to call it a day for me. I know it's going to be a little short, but I'm just going to end like it. I want to just get myself a little good night's sleep before I have to go to work, or before Sunday's over, before Saturday's over. I mean. There we go. I got that upper half done, and I'm going to try to get the bottom half in later. But thank you very much for watching my stream. And I know it's pretty much empty at this moment, but thank you for Human Robot for keeping me company and all that other fun stuff. Feel free to contact me in the next one, and if you like what you see, feel free to like and subscribe on my work, and just follow me on the next one. I'll see you guys later.